Very good evening, everybody. Hello, Sopranos. Lovely to see you. Welcome to our first sectional rehearsal of this wonderful Mozart's Requiem. And I hope everyone's having a nice day. Here in the West Country, it's been pretty grey, pretty miserable, pretty cold all day. And of course, it's our first day here in England of lockdown again. And so I popped out for a bit of government mandated exercise earlier on, had a nice little stroll around the block, but otherwise we've all been home. The children have been home from school today, so my wonderful wife Anna, she's just been an absolute trooper today, everybody. And to anybody who's homeschooling at the moment, you're doing an incredible job. Just well done. And particularly to all the teachers who have had to change all their plans overnight. Absolutely amazing. So yes, they've been working hard. I've been doing lots of admin, ladies and gentlemen, getting tonight's rehearsal ready, doing the tax return, folks. Sorry to trigger some people, but just making sure that the taxman gets everything that's due to them. All is well otherwise. I hope you are all having a nice day. Just lots of lovely comments there, so I shall say hello to everybody very shortly. Hello, Mark. Great to see you. And lovely to see everybody. So look, I'm going to quickly do my sound checks and then we'll have a bit of a chat. So, great to see you all. So I'm just going to check. Well, obviously the sound is working. Let me check I can hear myself on the old phone, shall we? Oh, yes. Blah, 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 blah. Good. I'm just going to make sure my phone is set to do not disturb. We don't want any interruptions, do we? Now, let's check the keyboard. That's sounding kind of dark and brooding, isn't it? It's appropriately dark. Marvellous. Let's just check our recordings. So here's a bit of the first movement. It's just so powerful, isn't it? It just creeps up on you. Does it go any louder? Oh, yes, it does. Now, do remember, don't worry, this is the version with the one voice louder. So, in fact, let's try the Dies Irae. Now, this might be loud, folks, so just if you're listening to me on headphones, just be aware this may be a little bit on the loud side, to just sneak it down. This is Dies Irae. Where are they? That happened yesterday. Let me just double check something, folks. 2, 3, 4. Right, okay, good. 3-second lead in. I need to snip that. Okay, good. So our sound is all working. Marvellous. Great. Thanks, Diane and George. The keyboard sounds fabulous. Thanks, George. No, so this is my lovely, lovely, lovely Korg, my SV2, which just sounds glorious. Not bad for an electric instrument, is it? Okay, so how is everybody doing today? So hello to Philomena in Nova Scotia. It's great. So there's some new members from the Halifax area. Oh, well, if you are new, if this is the first time you've been at one of our sectional rehearsals, you are very, very welcome. Please pop up if you don't mind and say hello. You don't have to if you don't want to. Everybody is very welcome, and I hope you enjoy tonight. I mean, the thing is, I was talking to Mark this morning, and I have to say thank you to everybody who sent such lovely, lovely messages on Twitter and over email to Mark, and just thank you very much for all your lovely comments about yesterday's launch. I had a great time, you could probably tell. But I said to Mark, I feel a little bit kind of like a fraud because I'm presenting some of the best music ever written. Of course you're going to think it's marvellous. Like, welcome to Film Club. We're going to watch a very little known film called Citizen Kane. You know, it really is. The Mozart Requiem is like Handel's Messiah, like Elijah. You know, these are indisputably some of the greatest works ever written by humankind. And so to present them, bit of a doddle in the nicest sense of the term. But thank you very much indeed for all your lovely comments. And tonight, well, the first 3 movements in this are the ones that Mozart finished and got a lot done on. And my goodness me, they are just perfect. And it's quite rare you can say that a piece of music is actually perfect. But these first 3 movements are just staggering. And what I was enjoying earlier on, about an hour ago, was playing through all your parts here, Sopranos, for these first 3 movements. And it just took me right back to working on Messiah with you all, those of you that were with us, and working through 3 movements a week, and in this Handelian style. It just took me right back. It was lovely. So, Hello, Sudi. Sudi's loving being back. It's lovely having you back. Jane had a fugal earworm going this morning. I know just what you mean, but it sounds particularly disturbing. No, the Kyrie in this, my goodness, or was it the Kwamo Limabrahe? I'm quite curious, actually, Janet. So let me know. But yes, I mean the whole thing is just an incredible earworm. It'll get stuck in your head like nobody's business. So hello, Anna. How is it? So it's very cold in Braga. Well, after all the sun you've had, it's only fair. No, I hope you're having a lovely day, Anna, and all the best to everybody in Portugal. And hello to Val. Val loves Braga and Madrid. Absolutely. Pam says the Requiem's new to her, but you love it already. My goodness me. Well, I'm really genuinely honoured to be introducing this piece to you, Pam, and anybody else who's encountering the Mozart Requiem for the very first time. Oh my goodness me. It's one of those things I wish I could almost go back and just erase it so I could encounter it again for the first time. And we all know what that feels like. You know, when you come across a piece of art, whether it's a painting, whether it's a piece of music, whether it's a film, whether it's dance, you know, I just wish I could see that again for the first time. But I suppose what you gain from singing this work as many times as I have and conducting it is that you start to, well, you start to ignore the notes that are on the page and you start to see the lines. Oh, it's absolutely phenomenal music. And of course, this is from the same era that Mozart was writing his very, very best operas. I mean, Clemenzo di Tito and the Magic Flute, of course, which I know it isn't technically an opera, but the Magic Flute and his Symphonies 40 and 41, some of the most astonishing music that he ever produced, really very forward-thinking. They all came from this last year of his life. And I said the same about Mendelssohn, and I frequently say this. What would our world look like if Mozart had lived just 10 more years? I really don't know. I don't know what music would sound like now if Mozart had lived another 10 years, because he pushed music so far, so quickly, and died so young. It was left then to others. I mean, really, Beethoven and Schubert and Schumann to take things on into the Romantic era. But I think I think Beethoven would have had a different life if Mozart had lived longer, because Mozart was doing things musically which other composers didn't go anywhere near for decades after he died. Goodness me. So, how are we doing? Lots of people online. Wonderful. 167 it looks like online. Got lots of likes. Let's see if we can get the likes up, please, everybody. It's just that little blue thumbs up. Doesn't cost you anything. And it just, it adds to the fun of doing these broadcasts, and it makes us feel good. So if you don't mind, and the other thing is, if you wouldn't mind, folks, and this really will help you, if you could consider subscribing to the channel. I think at the moment this particular channel, which is Requiems at Home, has 600 or so subscribers. Of course, the advantage to subscribing is when we go live, you get that notification. You can just click in your email, it goes straight to it. Again, it just helps us. It boosts us up the rankings and tells YouTube that we are more than just a tiny little site or a tiny little channel. So consider, if you wouldn't mind, folks, subscribing, consider liking the video if you enjoy what you're doing. So, Helen loves the Magic Flute. Oh, I am just obsessed with the Magic Flute. I still, having conducted it several times and been in it, I still don't know what it's about. It's completely insane. Magic flutes and temples and snakes and princesses and queens of the night and so on. It's very, very strange. But it is just perfect music. And my children and my whole family, it turns a little bit into the Von Trapps, but we quite often will break into a bit of the Magic Flute because it's just so gorgeous. Right, so let me just check this. That's all good. Is everything sounding okay, Mark? It looks all right from my point of view. Gosh, got so many lovely people. I think I'll say hello to some more lovely people. So hello to Hilary, who says, it's my first time singing this. I joined a local choir last January for the first time since leaving school. Wow, that's fantastic. Well done. I have huge respect for everybody who comes to choir rehearsals, and I encounter quite a few people like this. I haven't sung for decades, and I really miss it, and I want to give it a go. I think that is fantastic, and I really hope you enjoy this, Hilary. It's a great place to be starting with the Mozart Requiem. My goodness, really good. Thank you, Mark. That's great. Superb. And just one more thing. I don't know if you folks saw on Twitter yesterday, and you don't have to join Twitter in order to follow me on Twitter, or at least to see what I post. It's just go to Twitter, and I'm Mr. Ben England. I posted a link yesterday to what's called the Fragment Requiem. I mentioned it yesterday, the written Requiem, which is only the notes that Mozart wrote. Okay, that's all they recorded, and it is really very, very moving and very powerful, particularly as we go. The first couple of movements are indistinguishable from regular performances because he completed them, but as the work goes on, parts start to drop out and you just get the bass line and the choir parts, or maybe a single instrument in the choir parts, and then you get to the lacrimosa, and you get the violin line, and then you get just the choir, and it stops at Homo Reus, and that's it. Oh my goodness me, what a recording. Really very, very powerful. Fabulous. So hello to Morrigan Fiona, hello to Jan and Cara and Carol. Roanne says she's really looking forward to it. I've only ever played in the orchestra before. Well, that alone is such a joy, isn't it, Roanne, to be in the orchestra for the Mozart Requiem, because that in itself, there's so much going on. I remember the first time I conducted the orchestra for a rehearsal for a concert, and you're just surrounded by all of these interweaving lines, this what's called counterpoint. Oh, staggering, absolutely staggering. So I've just seen something. Did I have to wear special Von Trapp outfits, Ben? Kathy says, Ben in lederhosen. No, we don't wear the... we don't wear the special outfits. At least not yet. I mean, lockdown does funny things to people, so just keep an eye out on Twitter. If the lederhosen comes out, I'll let you know. Oh my goodness. So, somebody, what's happened to, yes, Helen. Hello, Helen. Oh, it's lovely to see you, and I hope you feel better soon. I hope you're not too sore, my goodness. Yeah, lots of love to you. Hello, Kit Kat. Sneaky Alto, I saw you sneaking in. Lots of love to you. And I think I saw Rob come in earlier on. Hello, Rob, Errant Tenor. Great to see you. And anybody else who's joining us from any of the other sections, of course, you're very, very welcome. Make yourselves at home. And on that, ladies and gentlemen, we have less than a minute before we start tonight's festivities. So if I could invite you to please make sure you have everything you need for the next hour. Our plan tonight, Sopranos, as I said, is to work through the first three movements of the Requiem, which is Requiem Aeternam, Kyrie eleison, and Dies Irae. So if you could make sure you've got your scores ready, make sure you've got a good drink of water, okay, stay hydrated. And I would say particularly tonight, Sops, as I mentioned yesterday, we're at that early point in the term. Some of us, myself included, haven't been singing every day for the last week or so. So just take it easy, drink plenty of water throughout tonight's rehearsal, and remember you can stop singing at any point, and all these rehearsals are saved for you so you can come back and practice. So folks, we're going to make a start. I'm going to say goodbye to your comments for now, but do please keep chatting all the way through if you want to, okay? I'm not in any way offended. I will occasionally glance across and just check that it's not a string of caps saying we can't hear you, but I'm not going to pop up and say, well, so-and-so's talking about scones. Have a nice chat if you want to. We're going to make a start. So here we go, everybody. We're going to go full screen. Help me make the noise. Here we go. Thank you very much indeed. And a very, very good evening, everybody. Welcome to the first sectional rehearsal of Mozart's Requiem in 2021. How exciting. Tonight, as I've just said, we're looking at the first three movements. You'll need your score. Hopefully we're all singing from the same hymn sheet, as it were, from our PDF. If you're using a paper copy, please bear in mind that certain paper copies, the page numbers won't be the same. I'm going to try and use the rehearsal letters as much as possible as we go through. Just to say, ladies and gents, please keep an eye out on your emails. I'm sure you are all really good at checking your emails, but if there's important stuff to come out, Mark will email you. He sent an email out yesterday about the launch and so on. Please do check those, because that includes any and all information that you need to know regarding this project. But other than that, I think we should get started. So, Sops, if I could invite you, please, to stand up, those of you that are happy to, and those of you that are standing, if you can please, as always, give yourself a firm base to stand on, plant those feet as shoulder width apart, and if you could make sure your knees are soft, don't straighten your knees, because sometimes the music will push you around and you need to move with that sound. And if you could give yourself the same straight back and long neck that we always have at the start of rehearsal. And those of you who are standing, just start to take deep breaths in and out and bring yourself very much into our rehearsal space. And those of you for whom standing's not on the menu, as I'm very fond of saying, that is absolutely fine. Please don't worry about that. But if you could straighten your back as well, all right? If you could please, if possible, get your feet on the floor from your sitting position, and make your neck nice and long as well. And start to take the same deep breaths in and out. Thank you very much indeed. And we'll all breathe together now. So we'll have a nice tall mouth as we breathe in. Here we go. And we'll breathe out together. And lovely. And again, nice deep breath in. And blow that air away from you. Fantastic. And just one more deep breath in. We're going to hold this one. Breathe. Hold for a count of 2. 1, 2, and breathe out. Lovely. And one more. We'll hold this one to 4. Breathe in. Holding. 1, 2, 3, 4, and breathe out. Very, very well done, everybody. Thank you very much. Now, continue to breathe deeply as we start to roll our shoulders round. And do breathe deeply. We want to get lots and lots of oxygen into the system so we can sing and really enjoy ourselves. Now, once you've rolled your shoulders in one direction, roll them back the other way and keep this nice and gentle, as we always do. This is just about loosening those muscles and releasing the tension. Once you've rolled them around a few times, bring them up to your ears, take a deep breath, and as you breathe out, let your shoulders fall. Here we go. Marvellous. Thanks, everyone. And we'll just roll our head around a little bit to the left, to the right, and forwards and backwards. Roll that neck around gently, not too fast. And if there's any pain there, don't push it. All right, just be very mindful of how your neck is feeling today. Okay, fabulous. Thank you, sopranos. Now we're going to start with our warm-up. And we're going to start, let's have a look. You're going to need, now, there is a top B flat in today's singing, okay? It's a very loud top B flat, and that comes in the Kyrie. What I would say to all of you out there, particularly those of you that consider yourselves very firmly second sopranos, if things go beyond your register, please don't worry about it, okay? Please give it pay no heed. As I would say to a face-to-face choir, if you're in the same room, if we get to that point, just either move to a different line, sing an octave lower, or just don't sing for those notes, all right? But really, we'll get warmed up, and I reckon most of us will get far up enough on these lines to make it sound good. So we'll start, I think, on a D, since we're in D minor, and we'll have a nice hum, make this a nice rich sound, bring it very much to the front of your face. Deep breath, and again. Lovely. Now an ooh. And again. And now an oh. And and ah. And again. Lovely. Now I'm going to drop down the octave because I'm not going to attempt to go up, but you please stay at that pitch and then go up to here. And after me, please, as we sing ma, 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 and excellent. Thank you very much indeed. And ya, 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 and great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great. And yeah, yeah, yeah. Lovely. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll drop down a tone and we'll do a couple of little scale passages because we've got quite a lot of semi-quaver singing to do tonight. Thankfully, nowhere near as fast as Handel's Messiah, but it's got to have some shape. So what we'll do now is that we're just going to learn a little pattern, and I don't need you to follow along in the score unless you particularly want to. This is just going to be one of the lines that we'll be looking at in a minute. So I just want you to sing. So have a listen to this. It is listen to that again. Sing with me and very nice. Thank you very much indeed. Now what we'll do is we'll now sing, let's sing with me and lovely, and again one more. Thank you very much indeed. Now that's taken us up to an A flat, which is absolutely fine for our first movement, and by the time we get to the B flat, I think we'll be thoroughly warm. Well done, sopranos. Thank you. Now we'll make a start at the first movement. As I'm very fond of saying, a very good place to start. In my score, it's on page 4, number 1, Requiem, and it is marked Adagio. And Adagio is slow. Okay, we know that the word Adagio means slow. It's actually slow and quite heavy. Okay, this opening movement, as I said yesterday, this has the feel to me of almost a processional. And I don't know about you, but when I think of the Requiem, I can't help but think of that idea of the hooded figure walking through the streets of Vienna, very famous in Amadeus and also used in Don Giovanni as well. The commendatore who comes back at the end. So this sort of, I sort of feel footsteps of hooded figures walking through the streets. Cha, cha, with the sort of footsteps. So just have that in mind, that the strong beats on 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Those strong beats are guiding us forward. Okay, so there needs to be that sense of moving forwards. Now, the basses start off on the first page at letter A with this Requiem Aeternam. The tenors come in 2 beats after the basses. The altos come in 2 beats after the tenors. And the sopranos come in 2 beats after the altos. So you're the last part in. On the bottom line on our first page, this is 2 bars after A in my score. And you're in after 3. It's 2, 3. Requiem Aeternam, dona Deis Domine, Requiem Aeternam, dona Deis Domine. Okay, now there's a lot going on there, so let's break that down into manageable chunks. Okay, so first of all, Requiem Aeternam, grant them rest, grant them eternal rest, the souls of those who have passed on. So we need to make sure, though it is forte, it's a good strong sound, we mustn't let it get too heavy or too intense, as this is, well, it's a Requiem Mass, everybody. It's not the fire and brimstone yet. So the very first phrase, Requiem Aeternam, sounds like this. 2, 3. Requiem Aeternam. Sing that with me, please. 2, 3. Requiem Aeternam. Well done. Now, as we moved up the scale, it was B naturals. Coming down, we're going to be singing B flat. So we sing Dona Eis Domine. Listen to that again from Dona Eis, the last bar of the first page. And 1. Dona Eis Domine. Sing that for me after 1. Dona Eis and 1. Dona Eis Domine. Very nice. We then sing Requiem Aeternam, dona Eis Domine. And you can take a breath after the nam there on the top note, and then just make the coming down the scale, dona Eis Domine, make that quite intense. So let's sing from Requiem at the top of page 5, second beat, and 1. Requiem Aeternam. Very, very nice. Well done, sopranos. So we've the monks, if you like, have made their way into the cathedral. Now, letter B, et lux perpetua, let perpetual light shine upon them. So there's a change in style here. It becomes more like fanfare. Okay, and we're in the major key for the first time. It's all been in the minor so far. We then sing et lux perpetua, et lux perpetua luceat. Okay, so let's break that down. First of all, et lux perpetua. Now notice the way I'm pronouncing these words. I'm trying to make the Latin as clean and as pure as we can. I really don't want diphthongs. I don't want et lux perpetua, luceat. All right, it's et lux perpetua, luceat. Very, very clean, very, very pure vowel sounds, just as we did with the Vivaldi Gloria and with Quanta Quale and every time we've sung in Latin. Okay, so from B it's 1. Et lux perpetua. If you want to roll your R's on perpetua, you can. Perpetua. Then please do. So from B and 1. Et lux perpetua. Very nice. The next phrase after B is the same rhythm, same words, but you're up a minor third, so it's 1. Et lux perpetua. Okay, now the phrase that follows is luceat. 2 things about luceat, well, 3 really. The first is I don't want there to be a break, please, between et lux perpetua luceat, straight through. I'd like you to pull the dynamic back if you can. I know it's a top G, but I'd like it to be quieter there. I'd like et lux perpetua luceat. Gentler on the top G, if we can manage it, folks. If it's too high, maybe use a bit of head voice, and if you have to belt it in order to get it, that's absolutely fine. Now, the luceat, the art, is longer than people want to give me, so it's luceat. Okay, watch me for that clearance. So from B, et lux perpetua. How are we doing? Marvellous. After 1 and 1. Et lux perpetua. Et lux perpetua luceat. Excellent. Then we sing luceat eis. Okay, luceat eis. And notice I'm running the words into each other. I don't luceat eis. Luceat eis. So it's one long sound. So let's just sing luceat, please. From this is 4 after B. Ready? And luceat eis. Lovely. And the tiniest S you've ever sung in your whole life, please. At eis, if you wouldn't mind. Well done, everybody. Okay, so carrying on, we then have the start of the soprano solo, everybody. Okay, now I'm going to teach you the soprano solo. It's very, very nice. You don't have to sing it on the recording if you don't want to. You don't even have to sing along with it at home. But what's the harm in learning this lovely solo? Okay, so the soprano solo comes in at the bottom of page 5, and it goes... Deus in Zion. All right, let's have a go at that together. It's very sweet. You need to sing with a lovely smile on your face. Ready? And Te dedimus Deus in Zion. Very, very nice. The whole thing is just one lovely phrase. Make sure you take a nice deep breath and just enjoy the sensation of singing that lovely line. There's then a line that answers, Et tibi redetur votum in Jerusalem, which goes, Et tibi redetur votum in Jerusalem. Okay, it's a really nice line. Listen to it again. Right, let's sing that together. Et tibi and Et tibi redetur votum in Jerusalem. Great. So we're now at letter C. Make sure you give me a full length note, please, at C on lem. Great. Thank you. Then the choir come back in. And it's a big moment. Exaudi, exaudi. And I would like exaudi, please. Okay? How do you like your eggs? I like them Audi. Exaudi. Thank you very much. I had a friend of mine say, well, I now drive a BMW. I'm ex-Audi. So the basses and tenors start at C. The altos come in. And then at the bar after C, you are the part that's keeping everything still, relatively speaking. The rest of the choir is all broken up, and you are on the beat there. So your line bar after C is Exaudi orationem meam. Almost like it's a bit of plain chant, okay? So let's have a go at that together. Ready? 3, 4. Excuse me, I ran out of breath at the end. Aeternam. There we are. Fabulous. So we then get to the Ad te omnis caro veniet here, which you don't sing very much at all in the last bar of 6. We've just finished the phrase mei am. We're in at the top of 7, and this is Ad te omnis caro veniet. All right, listen to that just on the piano. All right, let's sing that together from Ad te. Ready? 3, 4. Ad te omnis caro veniet. Very, very good indeed. Do something for me. Remember I was talking yesterday at the launch about this diminished 7th chord. Whenever you get one of those moments, and a good example of that is on caro. So if you hear it, Ad te omnis, listen. There it is. Just make those chords a little bit more shiny for me. Caro, because the diminished 7th carries such a little tension. If we put a little bit of energy into that tension, when we release it, it'll be all the sweeter. All right, well done, everybody. We're really doing very, very well indeed. We'll be singing through this whole movement in a couple of minutes. So let's press on. And if we're lucky, we'll have a chance to do it twice, which would be really good. So from letter D, the basses come in again. We're starting to move back towards the music at the beginning of the movement. The altos come in with this new theme, da, na, da, 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 which is a sort of, think of it as like a cascading little ribbon of fog moving up and down, slinking along. And you come in at the bottom of page 7. This is the 3rd bar after D. Oh, hang on, I got a question there. Is the omnis a dotted one? Omnis, hang on. Omnis. No, it's a quaver. Ad te omnis caro. All right, so it is a quaver as written. Good question though. So a D, we're 3 after D, and your line do, na, e. So I'll give you those 2 bars, which is 3 and 4 after D. It's 1. Do, na, e. Domine. All right, you need to take a bigger breath than I did. Listen to that just on the piano though, okay? So from the bottom of 7, straight in sopranos, it's 1. Okay, there's a lot going on there. If you find that line particularly tricky, I would say slow it down. All right, sing along with this recording, practice it until you're happy doing it. Try and keep the sound smooth rather than us hearing all the note changes. We don't want da na da na. It's got to be a lovely smooth line. All right, so let's have a sing of that, please. 3 after D, da na, and 1. Da na da na is Domine. Very good. No rest of the wicked though, because we're right back up. Okay, so this is the last 2 notes on page 7. So this is your next phrase. It's straight in. So it's 1, 2. Donna, donna, deis requiem aeternam. We'll stop there because I've actually inadvertently gone on to the next phrase which I wanted to look at. So let's go from the last 2 notes on 7 to the first sort of bar of 8. So let's look at donna, no, donna, donna, eis. Last 2 notes of 7. So it's 1, 2. Donna, donna, eis. Sing with me. 1, 2. Donna, donna, eis. Very nice. We're then up to the F there on Requiem, which is the last note of the first bar on page 8, and it's Requiem Aeternam. Just be careful of the A to the C sharp there. Let's have a go at that. So from the last note of the first bar of 8, Requiem and Requiem Aeternam. Very nice. A little hint for all of you, and I'm sure many of you know this, the higher you go, the taller your mouth should go. Okay, you want the sound to escape fully. You don't want any kind of feedback into your throat. That's how you build that pressure builds up, and you start to get the feeling of, I'm not going to hit this note. Drop the jaw and make the sound as all-encompassing as you can. All right, so we've just sung. Da, 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 da. We're now at that nam there, second line down on page 8. We then pick up the same shape, but just a bit lower. This is what we call a sequence. So we sing Aeternam. Sing that for me. This is the third bar on page 8. Ready? 1, 2. Aeternam. Excellent. And then the next phrase in the sequence is Aeternam. And that leads us to E. Okay, just sing that for me. 1, 2. Aeternam. Lovely job. Well done, Sops. Let's sing into that a little bit, shall we, please? Let's go from the bottom of 7, please. The donna, please. Third bar after D. And 1. Donna, donna, re, eis domine. Donna, donna, reis, requiem aeternam, 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 et lux perpetua. Now that's the next bit. It's been building up to this all the way through, and you get to light the blue touch paper on this last phrase here, Sops. So at E, we sing this twice. Et lux perpetua, et lux perpetua. And you're aiming for the pe at the top there. Sing that for me from E, please, sopranos. Et lux, and 1. Et lux perpetua, et lux perpetua. Very good. Now here's our diminished 7th. And I want you to come in then on Luceat, which is at the top of page 9. We've got 4 bars to go in this movement. It's 1. Luceat eis. And those last 2 notes I want you to make really clear, really distinct. Eis. Okay, so it's 1. Luceat eis. Lovely, well done. And then just this last 3 bars, right down in dynamic. It's piano, almost like an echo to the entire movement so far. It's et lux perpetua luceat eis. And remember, that last note is going to hold for a very, very long time, so stagger the breathing there. Let's just sing that together. Et lux, top of 9, then we'll sing the whole movement. After 2. 1, 2. Et lux perpetua luceat eis. And could you write count 10 on that last note? Write the words count 10, because it's a count of 10 on that last beat. Okay, everybody. Well done. That's one movement. We're going to sing it through now. We'll move on and have a look at the next 2. And if we've got time, we'll sing it through again at the end. Of course, it's all saved for you. So if you want to practice after we've sung this through, well, then you can come back anytime and sing it again. Right, here we go. From the beginning. If you haven't had a drink of water recently, as I haven't, please do hydrate yourselves. Right then, all the way through. Now, I'm not going to sing. I'm going to conduct. I'm going to play along on the piano. We've also got our wonderful Fieri consort, and this is the one soprano part louder, so you're going to hear, I think it's Lucy, on this very first track. So here we go, everybody. Enjoy. Excuse me. Right, this is the bar before A. And A. Here's the basses. Tenors. Altos. Take a deep breath. And... deep breath, and B. And 1. Straight through. Very good. Deep breath. Well done. Now the solo part. Nice deep breath, and C, 2, 3, 4, and letter D is the basses, altos, here's the tenor, deep breath sopranos, and a 1. My fault. Well done, sopranos. Goodness me. If it's the first time you've ever sung that all the way through, congratulations. That's a real achievement and a beautiful piece. I'm sure you'll agree. Now, it's not easy. You've got time now to practice that. These rehearsals are saved. Please do come back and sing that again. But we need to move on, everybody, because we've got a fugue to learn and a Dies Irae and only half an hour. Just to warn you, we'll probably overrun a little bit, everybody. If you have to go at 6 o'clock, that's absolutely fine. But we've got 2 more movements to learn and half an hour, so we will probably overrun. Now, what follows is this wonderful fugue, and a fugue, for those of you who don't know, is a very typical device from the 17th and 18th century, where you have a voice coming in and then another part coming in and then another and another, and the interweave. Okay, Bach is probably the greatest exponent of the fugue, and Handel wrote many, and Mozart is using this Handelian fugue idea, which is taken straight from Messiah, which I think is a lovely little link to us. Now, it starts on page 9. It's allegro, so it's faster. And you have this Kyrie eleison, okay, which is Lord have mercy. Christe eleison, Christ have mercy, and so on. Now, the basses start off again. The altos come in. You come in with the first subject, okay, this at the bottom of 9, okay? So let's have a look at this. So it's 1, 2, Kyrie eleison. Sing that for me with a nice hard cut. Ready? 1, 2, Kyrie eleison. Very nice. And then it is eleison. All right, have a listen to that from the last, 4 notes on page 9 from the Irae. Ready? 1, 2. Okay, so let's sing from Irae. Ready? 1, 2. Eleison. Great. Couple of things about that. Try your very best not to swoop from the low note to the high. Try and make it as clean as you can. Okay, even if it takes a bit of practice. And if that is too high, just carry on down. That's fine too. The other thing to make sure you're doing is not making the fast notes too heavy. Okay, you can hear that there are strong beats. Make sure the strong beats are stronger and you can lighten the notes in between them. That's just easier to sing, isn't it? Let's go from your first entry, please, on page 9 to there. Kyrie. Ready? 1, 2. Kyrie eleison, eleison. Very good. I ran some air there. Cheers. Now then. Okay, so now we have letter F. We've just arrived there. And now we've got to sing some of the inner parts here. So it is Ele. This is the bar of F, last note. It's 3, 4. Eleison, eleison, eleison. So let's do that in 3 little chunks. The first eleison sounds like this. This is the one after F. It's 3, 4. Eleison. Sing that with me. 3, 4. Eleison. Very nice. One more time for luck. 3, 4. Eleison. Very nice. We've then got an octave. We've got down to the D and it's eleison. Sing that for me. 2, 3. Eleison. Very nice. So that's, I think, just relatively straightforward D. And then eleison. Sing that for me after 3. 1, 2, 3. Eleison. And just make sure you put the E in the right place. Da, da, E's on. The E is on the penultimate beat. So, all that being said, can we sing from the last note of the bar of F, please, which is the second bar on page 10. Eleison. Okay, ready? 3, 4. Eleison, eleison, eleison. Very, very good. Well done. Now, we now have to move on a bar or so, and now we're going to meet the other subject, as this is what's called a double fugue. Mozart is a very clever man. The other subject is this... and so on, this sort of figure, which is these semiquavers, these fast notes. Now, the same applies to this as did with Messiah. If you're not used to singing semiquavers, they can be a bit daunting. They move fairly quickly. And you want to avoid the 2 extremes of singing semiquavers. You want to avoid hearing every single note. So you don't want to have Christe ele. Yeah, when your diaphragm's working overtime. And you don't want the other extreme where it's just smeared. Christe ele. So you practice it as we did with Messiah, please, everybody. Sing it to bar, first of all. So it is. Okay, now I'm going to sing and play that for you one more time, and then you sing it along with me to bar. This is the bar before G. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's have a go at that. So this is just before G, after 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now once you're happy with the pitches, you can have a go at singing along with the words. So let's sing with the words one last time before G. 1, 2, 3. Christe eleison. Well done. Put a bit of practice in on that one and you'll have a great time. It's one of those pieces that once you're used to singing it, it feels really good in the throat to sing it. Okay, so it's worth persevering there, ladies. Well done. Okay, moving on swiftly. We now come back to the original theme, and now we're singing it in the major. So we sing Kyrie eleison, and I want you to smile at that moment. Okay, it's one of the first rays of sunshine in the whole piece. It's all been minor and heavy up until this point. This is the first time we get a little glimmer of the hope and joy that is in this work. So sing that for me, please. Top of 11. 1, 2. Kyrie eleison. Very nice. We carry on in the major then. Eleison. Doesn't stay in the major all the way. It changes just at the end at H. We're moving back into the minor. So let me play you that LA one more time. This is 2 before H. So it's 1, 2. Eleison. Sing that with me, please. Sopranos. Or 1, 2. Eleison. Very good. Well done. How's everybody doing? Everyone's doing very well. Excellent. People talking about ginger tea. Do please look after your throats. I'm a big fan of ginger tea. That sounds very good. I'm going to have a sip of drink, actually. Okay, so we are at H on page 11. Christe eleison. So now we've got another load of semiquavers. So just listen to this. Such a nice phrase to sing. It really is. Let me sing it for you. So this is the bar after H. So it's after 1, 4, 1. Christe eleison. Okay. Have a go. Have a go at me. With me. Not have a go at me. Have a go with me. Okay, here we go. After 1, 3, 4, 1. Christe eleison. Excellent. And just note at the end, is on. The E is on those penultimate and antepenultimate notes, and the zon then on the last one. Okay, well done. Over the page, doing very nicely indeed. 3 pages to go. At the top of page 12, we've got another one of these lovely entries of the first fugue subject in the major. It's just so bright and so hopeful. When you come in at that moment, well, you'll hear in a minute when we sing it, it is the sun coming out from behind the clouds. Okay, and I don't know what the weather's like where you are right now. Out the window here, it is pitch black, freezing cold, but when you sing that for me, it will be like we're in the height of summer again. Kyrie eleison. Sing that with me, please, Sops, with a big smile. 1, 2. Kyrie eleison. Excellent, and then it carries on. Okay, so just listen to that again. This is the genius of Mozart, and Bernstein said it best. The thing about these great composers, they knew not only which note to write, but they knew which note must follow. Not which note could follow, which note must follow. And Mozart, his writing is immaculate, isn't it? It's just so lovely to sing. Let's sing from the top of page 12. Kyrie, please. And let's sing to letter K. Ready? 1, 2. Kyrie eleison, eleison. Excellent. Well done. So we're at letter K. Now he's not going to leave it in the major, I'm afraid. It is still a requiem. So what happens at K is Mozart pushing things back into the darkness. We emerge briefly into the sun. The clouds come back again. So at K, we sing Eleison, Eleison. Okay, now what I want you to do is to sing through those long notes in the middle of the bar. Something like this from K. So it's 1. Eleison, Eleison. So those long lays, can you push through them? Let's sing that together, please, from Ele at K. Ready? After 1, 3, 4, 1. Eleison, Eleison. Great. Well done. Thank you, Sops. That's brilliant. So now we are really approaching the end of this movement, down to 2 pages. We're now 2 before L at the top of 13. This is just a little bit of filler here. So it's Eleison. Listen to it again. Sing that for me after 1, 2, 1. Eleison. Great stuff. Thank you. We are now at L. And now we are heading for the top B flat here, everybody, okay? Just to warn you. So at L, we start to develop this idea that Mozart introduced right back at the start of the fugue. And he starts to introduce something called chromaticism. And chromaticism is moving up by semitone. And at the time, it was actually quite an advanced bit of harmony. And if you were able to use it, as Mozart does, you know, it's really spine-tingling. So at L, you sing... Christe eleison, eleison. And so if you hear... You can hear... So it starts on the B flat as it's rising by semitone. So I want each of the first groups of 4 there to be nice and strong. So if I can sing and play that for you from L. Ready? It's 1, 2, 3. Christe eleison. All right, now let's sing that to bar. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. One more time for luck. Very nice. Be really, really particular about those notes because you don't want to be making mistakes on those. It feels so good when the notes work right. Okay, when the notes fit as they should. You'll get a little buzz there. Make sure, as I say, that you're being really particular about the notes. Now let's just do the bit that follows. Eleison. This is the second bar in the middle of L. Let's sing that together. 3, 4, 1. Eleison. Lovely. So can you sing from L, please? Christe. 1, 2, 3. Christe eleison, eleison. Fabulous. Excellent. Now, from M. So this is the fun. Have a listen to this. Okay, this really is the absolute peak, all right, the absolute climax of this fugue here, okay, and you are leading it. So from M, it's after 1, 4, 1. Christe eleison. Just that. Okay, so let's sing that together, and if it is too high, just let it pass, it's fine, and join in when the notes come a little bit closer. Ready? After 1 from M, and 1. Christe eleison. Well done. And then eleison, eleison. Sing that for me, please. The last note on page 13. 3, 4. Eleison, eleison. Fabulous. I gave you the wrong note, so let's just go from M, please. Let's go from M on to the last page. Ready? After 1, 4, 1. Christe eleison, eleison, eleison. Fabulous, thank you. We're now at N with, what is it, 6 bars, 7 bars or so for the end. And you'll recognise this because Mozart is reusing the material from before. So from N, it's 1, 2, 3. Christe eleison. As we sang on the previous page, sing that with me. 1, 2, 3. Christe eleison. And then Christe eleison, eleison. Let me break that one down into manageable chunks because that is obviously based on what's come before, but that's new. So this is the middle of 14, second bar there, Christe. Listen to this. Christe. Okay, so it's this repeating pattern. Now, in order to learn this, we're going to take it down the octave stops. So we're going to sing Christe eleison with me and Christe eleison. Very good. Well done. Now let's try it up high. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Christe eleison. Sorry. My fault. Sorry, stops. Getting carried away. 1, 2, 3. Christe eleison. Well done. Practice that one slowly and then eleison. It's one of those big diminished chords, and then to finish, Kyrie eleison. Sing that with me. Here we go from Adagio and Kyrie eleison. And that last note has got to be so piercing and so intense because it's that unfinished chord. All right, everybody. Now we're going to sing the full fugue. As before, I'm going to play along. We're only going to have time to do this one once tonight. My apologies, but as you can probably tell, there's more than a couple of notes to get through in our rehearsals. We will sing all of these movements on Monday in the full choir rehearsal. And of course, you can come back and watch this anytime you like. You can also come and join in and sing with the altos, with the tenors, with the basses throughout the weeks. There's plenty of opportunities to practice this one. So let's go from the very beginning. Have a little drink there, please. Sopranos, rehydrate yourselves. You're not in for a couple of bars, although it's going to go quite quickly. So basses are going to take it away. Here we go. Here's Kyrie eleison, starting on page 9. Here we go. Altos. It's eleison, please, with a Z. And. So this is the sun coming out from behind the clouds. 1, 2. And 1, 2, 3, 4. L, 2, 3. Two, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3. 2, 3. Well done, everybody. Now, again, if it's the first time you've ever sung that before, well done. Well done. Congratulations. I have some excellent news for you, by the way, in terms of this amazing piece. You've worked really hard today and you've learnt the music for 2 movements. The great news is actually you've learnt the music for 4 movements. Okay? Because musically, the last 2 movements are derived entirely from the first 2. So the Cum Sanctus at the end is the Kyrie fugue and so on. So we've actually done twice the work. Well done, everybody. Now, do please come back, watch this rehearsal, sing it through plenty of times. We will be singing this a lot over the coming weeks, but very, very well done. Now, we've got probably about, I reckon, 10 minutes or so, because this one passes quite quickly. This is the Dies Irae, everybody. And I'll be honest, in terms of pitches and rhythms and so on, it's nowhere near as complicated as the first 2 movements, so you can breathe a sigh of relief about that. What this has is the fire and the drama and the attack of Mozart at his operatic best. And if you haven't seen Don Giovanni by Mozart, can I recommend it? I mean, if you're in lockdown and you've never seen Don Giovanni, I mean, give yourself the treat of watching it. It is remarkable. It has that incredible ending where the Commendatore, the father of the girl who Don Giovanni kills at the start of the opera, comes back to drag him to hell. And the drama, all in D minor, the drama is so powerful. Here it is again, Dies Irae. Now, let's have a little look at this. What is it? 5, 6, 7 pages, but it moves very, very quickly. Okay, very quickly. We're into Dies Irae, Dies Illa. Okay, so your line from the beginning is Dies Irae, Dies Illa. Okay, nice and sharp, nice and spiky. Sing for me, please. On the top of 15. 1, 2. Dies Irae. And then Dies Illa. Very, very nice. Well done. And then some real fire. Lots of Solvet seclum in favilla teste David cum Sibylla. Okay, listen to it again. Solvet seclum. 1, 2. Okay, whereas up until now we've been looking at nice smooth lines and nice phrases. This is just, as I say, fire and brimstone and lots of attack. So let's go from Solvet seclum. Ready? 1, 2. Solvet seclum in favilla teste David cum Sibylla. Fabulous. You can do something very important for me, Sops, which I want to hear very strongly on our recording. Can you really go for the te in Teste David? Because you're coming in on that 3rd beat and everybody else comes in on the 4th beat. So it's Solvet seclum in favilla teste David. Okay, can you really go for that note there? Thank you very much indeed. Now we are at letter O. Quantus tremor est futurus, quando iudex est venturus, cuncta stricte discussorus. Again, nice, pure vowel sounds. With rolled R's if you can, and really going for quando iudex est venturus. Use the consonants almost like percussion. Okay, so your first phrase at O is let me get the right note, that might help. So it's quando tremor est futurus. So listen to that again. So, okay, quantus tremor from O. 1, 2. Quantus tremor est futurus. Okay, and you're aiming for the turus, right? This is the maelstrom and the fire and the wind. So one more time, quantus. 1, 2. Quantus tremor est futurus. There's that diminished 7th again. And then quando iudex is quando iudex est venturus. Listen to that again. Sing for me. 1, 2. Quando iudex es venturus. And then cunctas stricte discussorus. And that last note's really short. Okay, so from cuncta, please. 1, 2. Cunctas stricte discussorus. Very nice. Let's sing together from O to there, please, Sops. From O, which is at the bottom of page 15, Quantus tremor. Ready? 1, 2. Quantus tremores futurus, quando iudex es venturus, cunctas stricte discussorus. Very, very good indeed. You're going to love, if you've not sung this one before, you'll absolutely love it. It's so much fun. We are now at the top of page 17, and you'll hear again, it's Mozart reusing this material. So it's dies irae, dies illa. Sing for me. 1, 2. Dies irae, dies illa. Lovely. Doorbell. Ding dong. Then solvet seclum in favilla. Listen to just the piano. Okay. Solvet seclum in favilla. Sing that for me. Middle of 17. Ready? 1, 2. Solvet seclum in favilla. Great. Don't forget to come back to that note. Da 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 da. Quite often the choirs I've worked with have made a little bit of a smear of that. So it's solvet seclum in favilla. Make sure you've practiced those individually. And then teste David cum Sibylla. Nice little Neapolitan moment there. That B flat's a very nice dark sound, so make sure that's nice and dark. Teste David. After 1, 2, 1. Teste David cum Sibylla. Fabulous, thank you. We're now on to page 18 with 4 pages to go. So it's now Quantus tremores futurus. Listen to that. Okay, so to begin with, it's just the notes of the arpeggio and then upper semitone. So Quantus tremores futurus. Sing that with me. 1, 2. Quantus tremores futurus. And then quando iudex es venturus. This bit's a bit tricky. You might want to play this back a couple of times. And by the way, we're nearly at 6 o'clock. In fact, we've just clicked over to 6. If you have to go, I completely understand. We're probably going to go on for another 5 minutes or so before we sing it through. So if you need to go, I understand. We'll see you soon. But if you can hang on, we're nearly at the end of this movement. Okay, so let's go from the 4th bar after Q. Quando iudex es venturus. Okay, so sing that with me. 1, 2. Quando iudex es venturus. Fantastic. Let's go from Q, please. Quantus. And quantus tremores futurus. Quando iudex es venturus. And then cunctas stricte discussorus. Listen to that again. Okay, really, really strong. Each note is as loud and as heavy as the one before. Cuncta, last 2 bars of 18, please, Sops. 1, 2. Cuncta stricte discussorus. Very, very good. Now, the basses now play a little game with the rest of you. They sing Quantus tremores futurus. And you answer with, you sing dies irae, dies illa. Okay, and I'd like it to sound really, really spooky. Dies irae, dies illa. Okay, the Fieri have done a lovely job of this, but I want the whole choir to overdo it. Dies irae, dies illa. Crescendo and diminuendo on each one. So sing it with me. And 1. Dies irae, dies illa. Excellent, well done. Then the basses sing again. Quantus tremores futurus. And you sing dies irae, dies illa. Okay, you can hear the use of the semitones. It's very creepy. So sing that for me. This is 3 before S. And 1. Dies irae, dies illa. Fantastic. And we're now down to what, the last 2 pages. Basses again at S. Quantus tremores futurus. And at the last two notes there on that page 19, it's Quantos tremores futuros. Now this is a bit tricky, and I would practice with this one slowly. I might go Quantos tremores futuros, and I'd swing it a little bit till I got happy with the pitches. Only when you're happy that you can sing those semitones and then that tritone, but then make sure you're happy with it before you sing it at full speed. But let's have a go at it now. After 1 and 1. Quantos tremores futuros. Excellent. Well done. Once more for luck. And 1. Quantos tremores futuros. And then quando judex es venturus, contra stricte discursorus. Listen to the first one. Quando judex es venturus. Sing with me. 1, 2. Quando judex es venturus. Good. And then contra stricte discursorus. And contra stricte discursorus. Fabulous. Let's do the two together from quando judex. We're very nearly there, Sops. Very nearly there. From quando. 1, 2. Quando judex est venturus, contra stricte discursorus. Fabulous. And then from T, you have a little break just at the start of the bar. It's 1 contra stricte. So that's that rhythm. Contra stricte. And the notes are 1 contra stricte. Okay, sing for me at T. And 1 contra stricte. Excellent. And then you answer that with 1 stricte discursorus. Sing that for me, please, Sops. And 1 stricte discursorus. And then do you know what? You sing the same thing again. Contra stricte. And 1 stricte discursorus. Sing that for me. The last phrase, please. Top of 21, and then we'll sing the whole thing. There's your notes. And 1 contra stricte. And 1 stricte discursorus. Fantastic. I appreciate that was pretty swift. We've gotten through it in 10 minutes, I think, which I think has to be a world record. We will be singing it through again on Monday, of course. The rehearsal is all saved, and we are going to sing it through now. So, everybody, have a little sip of drink, please, and enjoy this, because it is so much fun. There's your note sopranos. Now, any errant altos who want to join in, any tenors, any basses, there are your notes, everybody. All right, so let's have some fun. Here we go. Dies Irae. Okay, nice deep breath. And, oh, hang on, sorry. I'm gonna tweak these files so they start as soon as I press the button. That'd be helpful, wouldn't it? Here we go. Nice deep breath. And. Ready? And. And Q. Spooky here. And 1. Deep breath. And. T. And 1. and one. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, sopranos, well done for tonight. It's always quite something starting a work of this magnitude and this size, and it's always such a pleasure that it's the sopranos that I see first. So thank you for tonight. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're new to the work, of course, there's a lot gone on tonight. It's a lot of notes. Too many notes, Mr. Mozart. So please make sure you, first of all, rest your voice for the rest of the evening if you can. Drink plenty of water. Come back to it tomorrow. Let that all percolate in your mind a little bit. Listen to recordings of the work. I mean, that for me is how the Mozart Requiem just really seeped in. I had so many recordings going, and just really start to listen to it, have it going on around the house. You'll find yourself singing along, and that's when you know it's gone in and it's really good. So well done tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you officially on Monday next week for the full choir rehearsal. But of course, you're more than welcome to come along tomorrow to see the altos, same time, and just pop up, say hello, and everyone will be delighted to see you. So have a very, very good evening. Everybody stay safe, stay well, and we'll see you soon. All the very best, folks. Bye-bye.